Hey, DTB here. DeathToBoredom. Now, this is day 11 recording, and I am recording in a new style. I want to try to get in what I come across and what I feel is interesting or whatever, uh, while I'm doing like research and stuff. And today I found something really nice on Twitter. At the same time, you'll find that a lot of comments will be making fun of it if you were to go to this one. Oh, but I should really like save a link to this as a source, basically. Let's see. Let's put it down on this right here. I copied and pasted it. But yeah, let's go into it. So this is the anime thing. As you can see, it uses a 3D model, and then they render it. So the render is at the top. The bottom is unrendered 3D model animation. And by rendering, as you can see, there's like no shading or barely any kind of shading on the face. And also like all this like blush stuff is like add-on. Um, well, actually, there's you can see the blushes here, but like I guess it could be the lighting. Actually, it's like it's a lighting engine. I think that's what it is. That's going on with that. It's a lighting engine that makes it look anime. 2D anime that is. Interesting. Not that I would actually know though. It's that's just my um just an educated guess. That's what it is. That's what it is. And then like, there's also these linings that you don't see on the 3D model, but it's there because of I believe it's like some kind of plugin, and it will basically put these kinds of anime lines there as a as something about, I think that'll have to do with the camera. So it uses the camera as the base. So where the camera is looking, it'll put lines in specific areas. I don't know if that's like AI controlled or whatever or whatnot, because the way that the lines are made are very smooth, and feels like you would have to manually input it, but at the same time, it's like when you render it like that, like how smoothly it just works together and changes. Like, I don't know what the work is that they put into it. If they did it manually, that's really insane. But if it's not done manually, then like it was like some kind of plugin that allows this, then yeah, good. That'd be really good, because then, well, it's a lot less work, for people all around. But as you can see, like it's the face itself unrendered. It's very creepy and very funny in a way. Like especially when they go for the side view right here. Yeah, they just changed that one eye to make it fit the angle. But this is basically how anime would be like, yeah, if it was 3D, of course. This is how it would end up. It looks so nice from this point of view, like if you were to draw it out, right? But in actuality, this is what it would really look like. Is the very inconsistent with uh with the anatomy of the character, basically. Yeah, that's how I would put it anyway. It's very inconsistent with the anatomy of the character. Now, but also like this guy, the reason it's like this though is not just because he had to like um really really distort it to get this effect. It's also because of the limit of the model itself, in that the eyes are inside is mostly flat. Uh but I mean, that's the limitation of anime in general though. Like you can only blame it on the style and nothing else, really. There's really nothing else to blame for this, but I mean, I'm just like wondering how it would have looked from the side, if it was undistorted, if it was just kept how it was supposed to be, and see how what the side would look like rendered, you know? It would definitely give a different result. It would definitely be a lot more forward and down, so around this area basically. And it would obviously be a lot bigger too, the eye itself, because as you can see over here, the eye is smaller, in general to the other one, not just the pupil, but like the actual general eye itself is smaller than the other one, but not by too much though. But still, like, this is really good. Um, what is it called? A really good reference to use anyway. Like, I should just save this somewhere, honestly. Like, bookmark it or share it and like copy the link to tweet and put it on my like own personal Discord server or something, you know, or like put it in my research documents, like stuff like that anyway. Ways to like get these references whenever I want them. But yeah, and like it's crazy how he's able to just do this all in one go. Is basically how it goes. It's like all he's doing is changing the camera angle, and then he changes the facial expression, uh, modeling it to how he wants it to look on the rendered end. And people are going to make fun of it for sure. Like even just the first face alone is really goofy. Uh, they like that's what they will focus on because it's new to them and they don't know anything about how this stuff works. And and so now like this is their initial what's it called? Initial, well, like it's like the first meeting, right? So it's their initial impression. Yes, the first impression. And the first impression is always the one that lasts the longest when it's as impactful as this one. And you know, it's not necessarily a bad thing either. Uh for people to be making fun of it and stuff like that, like haha, look at this, so ugly and stuff like that. But it's also like, you know, it's it's publicity, it's awareness, it's it's there's like one word that I was looking for, but I think that's good enough, just having those two terms. And you know, by having those, it introduces them into this world, this new world. Uh, and this is the future of anime right here. Um, like 2D animation will become obsolete, and this is like just the perfect example of why, you know. Uh, but how it will get to this point is another question. However, but the thing is that the advantages that it gives are so much more than like the cost of it, or like the the amount of work put into it anyway, compared to compared to a 2D animator. Um, and I saw this coming a long time ago, especially starting from Guilty Gear. So Guilty Gear, I think it was XRD was the first iteration of successfully implementing this kind of um, concept and making an entire game out of it, um, or using it really. But yeah, so they're basically the pioneers. They are the pioneers of this new era. and people are finally catching up. It took about 8 years because I was Googling Guilty Gear, and I saw the one of the videos was in 2015, so it would be at least 8 years. And that's not including the process cycle that it took to get to that point too. So like before the game's released, right? How long was it in development? That's really where it all starts. If it was like in development for 5 years, then it was probably, the first iteration was somewhere in 2010, 2011, 2012, around there. And it just wasn't, available to public eye yet. In any case, though, um, but yeah, this is a really good thing to talk about, though. I want to learn stuff like this one because this would be the greatest use of my time. Um, and I can tell it's gonna be very difficult. Even like it's already a difficult process to learn 3D, but like this in itself is going to become a different beast because these kinds of facial expressions are not something that you can just come up with. You have to do a lot of trial and error basically. And and also, well, like learn the techniques of how it's done in the first place. Like you'll see that the eye is being moved around a lot. The eyes, they are moved around a lot, like in different positions. Like it'll be more to the left, more to the right, and the face itself, you'll see it changing forms and moving a little bit more to the right and left and stuff like that. And then you see even the hair accessory is having like all these kinds of changes at some point. There was a little bit movement there, but okay, yeah. So it was really only one real change, but like there's probably gonna be like a default setting or whatever, and then like when you feel like your model is gone too far, then you can just reset it to that default setting. But I mean, if anything, just save a save file of the default setting, of the default look. In any case, though, but yeah, like this in itself is art, which is pretty funny because it's so ugly. But like this is the process of it anyway. It's so ironic that it starts off looking so ugly, but then the rendered work is the true goal, and it couldn't be done without going through this ugliness first. You know, it's that's what makes it so beautiful because it's a balance. It's like not all things that are ugly have to stay ugly, right? It's like it can be made beautiful, kind of thing. It's like how you put makeup on an ugly person or something like that, or like, they have all these pimples or all these blemishes, and then like you put on makeup and it by covering it all, it they look a lot better. But then there's also photoshopping as well to make everything more consistent, so you don't really see the bumps and shading and whatnot. Uh, but in any case, though, it's yeah, it is kind of pretty much like that, though. I would have to say. Then I did some research, uh, going into like videos and whatnot. Like, well, not videos, I just googled, Guilty Gear 3D animation style kind of thing, and this guy popped up, and it's pretty funny because like this is like nothing to do with Guilty Gear at all. It's just that the title ends up showing up on my search bar, and so I get to see this video. But the reason that it would be considered Guilty Gear style is just because of all the what do you call it, the outlines, all that heavy outlining. Uh, and maybe some other things like I'm not exactly sure, but um, it is a free model, so there's really nothing to complain about. And he talks about the cost if this were commissioned to be pretty much around $2,500 for everything. So it'd be making the model, the rigging, which is making the skeleton, and then the animation where he puts a preset of animations for you, which he's going through in the video. Um, and yeah, like all this stuff is a hell of a lot of work, definitely. Uh, and yeah, I downloaded it, but I won't be getting into it anytime soon. I mean, I don't even know how to do 3D in the first place. I can't even make a 3D model. Never did the donut. So yeah, you gotta make a 3D model before you do anything else. So basically, to get that effect on the Twitter video, you have to use a combination of shaders, shading, and lighting. But yeah, how much that guy went through, I don't know, but at the very least, I now know how he did it. What's the fundamental behind it? It's very interesting. Yeah, I've been going through this video to find. I learn a lot anyway. Active Motion Pictures, thank you for making this video and other ones that help with understanding how this stuff works. As you can see, I've also checked this video out, but only from a certain timeline. I think it was like around here or something, because they whoever the Active Motion Pictures linked this video with this timeline starting at like around there, 4507, and yeah, like to show how to go about getting this kind of shader where it gives an outline to the character in all sorts of areas, and then he's basically going through how to customize it. Whoops, well, I shouldn't have done that. Either way though, oh wait, actually no, never mind, you wouldn't be able to hear it. Yeah, you can only hear from my speaker though, because I made it so that the browser volume cannot be heard in the OBS recording. Haha. In any case, though, it was fun learning this stuff. Even though I might not get into it yet, I might get into it someday. But also, if I want something, commissioned or something, it's like I can at least have a good idea of how it works. And then it's like if I don't like something, then I can give suggestions and tell them how to go about doing it, or ask if they can do it that way anyway. And yeah. Well, this is an extra, but I went to another window, so I went to my Clip Studio Paint, and then the YouTube blurs out like that. So if I go back to it, I go back to it, and it shows the preview of it, of the on the picture that I'm on of the video, but if I go back to another thing, what? 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 Oh, how does this thing work? Okay. When I wasn't recording, it would go back to blurring, okay? Just that's all. That's all I want to say. That's all I want to say, okay? It's OBS is like here to just prove me wrong, I guess, Just wants to prove me wrong. Oh, after about a minute or so, it went back to blurring. Haha. But yeah, why does it even do that? I don't even understand. Like, what's the point of that? That's my question. Oh well. Like, I never would have found out if I didn't have OBS up and recording this screen. That's the thing, or this browser. It's weird. All right. At this point of the video, it is the end of the day, and I ended up taking a nap in the middle of the day, and it's 11:32 p.m. right now, so I will be up a little bit longer. But yeah, it was mostly just writing again. Unfortunately, if I did drawing, I would not be able to make much progress in the writing area when my noodle is noodling. Um, and yeah, like you got ideas, and when you gotta write, like you just can't stop, you know. But it's the same with drawing too, honestly. But yeah, I never stop the process or don't interrupt it anyway. You just gotta keep going, going, going. Uh, and that's what's happening tonight. I just like I finished a section, I ended up finishing a section or like a chapter, I should say. Again, it was just girls interactions and stuff like that, and like talking about the things, technology, and gaming, and doing girly things and stuff like that. Anyway, anyhow, it's totally important. Okay, it's totally important for character development and stuff like that, and moving forward into the story. That is because gotta get that te in, that te. uh, and some uh, Yuri fan service kind of thing. I mean, it's just the given from from their situation anyway. Let's just say it like that anyway, without going into spoilers. Uh, but any case though, but yeah, like yeah, it's kind of sucks in a way that I can't really say much more than that, and I didn't really do anything else other than that. But I mean, this new format that allows for going through like seeing a little bit of what I research and do during my mountain training is it's good. It's good. Yeah, I ended up sleeping, taking a nap just because of that research. Like when I had taken a lot of new information, it's just really heavy on me, and I just conk out at some point. But that's just how it is. With a lot of things, really. If you're not like an energetic kind of person, it just ends up being like that. So you let the process happen, and you just go with the flow, and you continue on making progress afterwards. After you're re-energized and all that, it's not just about, oh, my social energy, oh, I'm drained, oh, I need to rest up, blah blah blah. No, it's like that for everything. But that's just because I didn't train my body to have that kind of stamina. Like if I just like went to the gym more often and ate more and of course eat healthy, then this wouldn't be a problem. But also, I never mentioned this. So yeah, mouthwash. That's for me, it's a lifesaver. So there's this thing like I've had chronic gum bleeding for the longest time, like my entire life. And I've just been like, I've been brushing my teeth all the time. Like I brush my teeth 3 times a day. At some point, I brush my teeth like 5 times a day, and also I use a water flosser every single time as well. And even then, my gum would still bleed, and like I use I would use a floss and like actual flossing, but like I'd have to get in between the wires, and it's so troublesome that it makes me not do it every day, basically. But if I didn't have a wire in my teeth, I would be able to do it every day because I just go like, "Guk, guk, 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 guk." kind of thing. Like just go in and out in every gum gap. But in any case though, so yeah, and like there's like I stopped doing I stopped flossing because I noticed that even after flossing, like the one time after flossing, my gums wouldn't stop hurting. So I was like, wow, the flossing is doing nothing. It's ineffective. Usually it helps, but this one time it didn't work. And so I was like, oh man, what am I gonna do? Like, and I realized something after I went through my washroom cabinets. I found a full bottle of mouthwash. I was like, wait, I don't do what mouthwash anymore. I should start doing it. that's how that's how I realized I should. I never use mouthwash. And it's like, yeah, this stuff is supposed to kill 99.9% of germs. Maybe it'll help. I should include it in my daily cleaning. So now I use it every morning and every night, and I have not had any bleeding since. I didn't need the floss. I just needed brushing teeth, water flosser because like when I use that water flosser, I always see all these bits of pieces of food coming out, just dropping out of my mouth. I was like, wow, look at all this stuff that could have been stuck and just rotting in between my gums, you know? Like it's a lifesaver, that water flosser. So, and then the finisher is so I would water floss first, then brush my teeth, then I would use the mouthwash. And of course, I scrape my tongue as well, because that's a really big area that always gets a lot of gunk and a lot of bacteria stuff. Anyway, I mean, it shows. It just shows so plainly. Anyway, my mouth and my tongue is always like still pretty white even afterwards, even after I like do so much scraping. But like also you have to scrape like firmly and slowly. You can't like just like you can't just go fast or else uh well for me it would damage my tongue. I felt it damaging my tongue anyway. So I was like, oh man, I'm going too fast. Like everything I do uh when it comes to like improving oneself or cleaning, everything has to be done firmly and slowly. Like brushing my teeth, doing like exercises like push-ups and and uh what's it called? Well, push-ups is just like the best example really. But like sit-ups, that's also another one, and like lifting weights like the dumbbells and stuff like that, and like the bench the bench weight or whatever. Like all that stuff, you always have to like do it slowly, firmly, and stably, like with stability. Like it just goes to show uh, that trying to do everything really fast would not like help at all in the proper care and proper strength area. You're just rushing, and it doesn't like it. It only shows like it shows a result outside, but inside there's like barely any results. But in any case though, um yeah, so that's a lesson to take away from this. I just wanted to share because like I never did. I like there's no other time to share it really. But now. So yeah, be sure to take care of your body, and when you're training yourself and when it comes to healthcare, in every form, even hygiene. of course. Do it slowly and firmly. Have a good night. Yeah. Oh wait, I upload in the middle of the day. Sorry.